Welcome back to Spill with Sean Williams and Lucas Jones.
You're so silly. You're so stupid.
We were just chatting about love, and now we're going to chat about daddies. I teased it in the first one. We'll probably do this in two parts, so this will probably be the second part. So welcome back. Thanks for listening to last week's episode. Thanks for listening to this one.
Yes. We appreciate all of you, honestly.
Massively, deeply.
There's bare stuff to be listening to. So
Thank you for the messages as well.
Yeah, honestly, they're the best ones.
It means the most. Someone said they cried, and it wanted to make me cry that they said that. I don't even know what episode that was in reference to. But
Whoa.
yeah, and I
Do you know what? We should start reading some of them.
Oh, we
or
should.
Or even just putting them, as long as people are happy with that and okay with that.
Yeah, if you're listening and you want us to, if you drop us a message, let us know if you wouldn't mind us chatting about that, because they mean so much to us. That
100%. And a little roll call, actually. Just
just
whoever's listening. Because I want to be able just to say personally.
Animate a huge thing right here saying thank you.
Right now, whilst we're kind of in this embryonic stage and we can be personable with as many people as possible. Listen, Lucas, we wanted to do this because we want to help. Like, honestly. And I think people will feel our heart and they'll see us and they'll go, okay, we see the aesthetics, we see what could happen, but the motive of this, they really just want to be open and to talk. So, And
we've got lots of plans community-wise moving forward.
For
lots
sure.
of things. So do stay in touch if you're listening.
And we'd love to just say hey and shout you out and just, and try and get you some. We need to get that merch popping anyway.
We do need to. We got some plans. But anyways, bro. So it's your dad's birthday today.
Pops' birthday.
Can I ask how old it is, or is that?
No, of course it's not, bro. Come on, we haven't seen the melanin, bro.
Man could be 32, bro. I don't know.
He is, man. Listen, I see him, so I'm like, you need to calm down, you know.
Same with my bro.
I tell him all the time.
My dad embarrassed me the other day. We were out for dinner, and I was like, bro, you come on just like that. It's my birthday, bro. You know what I mean?
Man wanted to stunt. Just let you know, like, listen, guys.
Serious, bro.
Man came from the
listen,
true
this is the
vibe.
source right here.
And your dad has got that swag.
Yeah, it's
still.
got the drip, bro.
He's got that swag.
It's a bit silly.
Wait there, so 63.
63. Happy 60th birthday to your pops, man.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Dad.
True community champion. Just love. I've only met him in person once, you know.
Oh yeah. When I think you were at the office.
Yeah. But he's been a presence, obviously through you, but through our conversations in a major way the whole time knowing each other.
Dude, that guy's not from here.
No.
I'm a massive believer of that.
No, I agree. The
Man is not from.
He's not from here. No.
The stuff that he's done with his life. You know what? My dad, I have that real, like, a big hero complex with my dad.
Right.
And then about 7 years ago, you see Superman without the cape.
Hurts. Scary.
No. All of the above. But I'm quite an observant person in terms of I can be there and be watching and taking everything in. But it was no cape that validated the fact of who he was to me. Imagine your flying powers have gone, but you're trying to fly. You feel me? The X-ray vision is kind of half working. But you're there just working it. Because you're just like, if I keep going, I'll get there. And it's a difference between my dad. You remember we had that conversation about mentors?
Yeah.
And stuff.
Very well.
It's funny because I had like an upgrade to that. And I believe we have mentors are those that give you instruction through their experience. It's cool, but it's kind of like this. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm going to tell you how you can get through it. Then you have those that model. It's instruction through practical living and application. It's non-verbal. Now, you know mine and my dad's conversation is very verbal. We always talk. But modeling now, I realised I learned way more in the moments where he didn't speak and I could watch him be than I did even when he'd sit down and talk to me and tell me and pass me on wisdom and stories. And you know what, it's funny because, and I know it has nothing to do with anything, but I remember I had a really tough time because you asked me about my mentors, and I remember I leant towards even mentioning that Craig was a mentor, and I was like, no, he's not actually.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. Because I was just like, no, because it's not that. And I realized because he's a modeler.
Wow.
So as my father has been in my natural life, I believe that heaven brings people in your purpose environment. And you get your iOS upgrade. And I've watched different moments, different seasons. And so I just wanted to thingy that, because I felt like I never got to fulfill the question the way I wanted to. So I have two, especially like in that way, reflectively, two models. And like I say, my spiritual, my personal journey, my dad's always been, but in that purpose environment.
Yeah.
He's definitely a model to me.
For those who don't know the reference, talking about Craig David.
Yes,
Just make that
the
clear.
big bro. I've been working for him for a little bit in his band, and just an amazing guy.
Yeah.
One of the best non-verbal teachers you'll come across, and he teaches as well.
Wow.
But in terms of
I completely hear. It's interesting because I thought at the time I wondered what I felt a slight
the reticence.
Yeah, reticence or just a processing and trying to say what you meant at the time. So it's interesting now to hear that these
and
years later.
it really spikes because you realise that modelling is the iOS update of mentoring.
100%. Yeah.
Anybody that can show you is way more invested than a person that just tells you.
Yeah, and I think you need both. Of course you need both. But I think
it takes a special type of person though to model. Because what I'm saying is, I'm going to allow you to see me in my vulnerable parts. I'm going to allow you to see me when the sun is shining. I'm going to allow you to see me when it's a night sky and it's just a couple of stars.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Fully.
And they trust you to respect the silence of that space and take in the process of the practical application of the journey. And that's why I said to you, that my dad is so powerful to me, because I saw what winter looked like. When you go see a man sewing in ice.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. I remember hearing a story of an actor called Mickey Rourke talking about he never met his father. We had a very fractious relationship with his father. I can't remember exactly the story, but the bit that stuck with me was years and years later he went to find his dad.
Yeah.
And he had no friends, no connections. But you remember when they were really young, they did know each other. When he was really young, they used to go to this diner. And he thought, that's the only link I have, this one diner. So he just started going there day after day, just sitting in this diner. And one day he saw a guy whose hands he recognised, the way he moved his hands. And he went over, and this guy's like 40s at this point. Went over to his old man. He said, Dad, yo. And
My God.
they sat, they had a burger, they went for a walk. And he said he remembered walking on the curb, and now he's taller than his dad. And he stepped off the curb so that he wouldn't be.
Love that.
So he could feel that. But I mean, I love it. I half love it. It's really, I think I was at tears when I read it, like when I watched it. Like, I half love it because it's wanting to, there's some respect in it in a way.
That's the word.
But then there's also the pain of trying to time travel and trying to heal something now. Trying to step off the curb so you're smaller than your dad, so you can then, through the eyes you had when you were 7 or 8, see or begin to try and fix what should have happened.
Do you know what? I agree with you exactly what you're saying. And I feel like I have, just as you're talking, just what I'm feeling. Dude, you see when he stepped off the curb, his ability with everything that he was to humble himself back to childhood. That's why he met his dad in that moment. Because the intention in his heart was to be a child. What's the one thing with children, Lucas? Me and you can fall out at break time, and after we finish our jam roly-poly, we'll be back on the climbing apparatus, bro. Hugging, talking about, I'm going to ask your mum, you ask your mum if you come back to mine for dinner with me. Do you want to stay over? Do you want to sleep over?
Brother.
Kids don't hold that grudge.
Why is that then? Why do you think that is? Because that's
truth?
something. Yeah.
The environment weathers them to start to understand the difference between what they should hold on to and what they should let go of. And that comes through their first models. Parents, siblings, teachers, extended family. That's why anytime people want to deal with prejudice or discriminatory behaviour, they want to show a black baby and a white baby hugging. And they go, you see, there's no thingy. What? Of course. But then no one wants to sit there and go, so then what are you teaching them at home?
Yeah. Right.
And that's the reason why you have that with children, because their first thought is you hurt me, but as long as you tell me that you're not going to hurt me again, I'm willing to trust you.
Yeah.
The longer you go on is the more suspicious you become of life and people and situations, circumstances and events. That's why for most men, and that's why I think we're very blessed, and we also have to, as much as we can, create the awareness that unhooking that, unhooking that hook from the past that stops you from healing that fracture. Because we all know when a bone breaks, it comes back 9.9 times out of 10 stronger. Most of us are treating what we went through, our trauma, as breakages. They're not. They're fractures. Because if they were breakages, the relationship would have come back stronger, like a bone.
Yeah.
So the fact is, fractured means that when you apply the right pressure in the right place, Lucas. We had a moment a couple of months ago when you were with your pups.
Yeah.
And I remember I said something to you. I think you may even come back for Pups' birthday.
Yeah.
Lucas, that had nothing to do with me. It did, but it didn't.
The story of that for everyone is that so I'd just come home from it'd been a treacherous time for me. I'll put it mildly that way. A treacherous time for me over the period of several months. And I had to go home just on a spiritual one. I just had to get home. Similar to stepping off the curb, I had to just revert back for a minute almost. And I came home. I was feeling pretty good. I had this sort of healing I was looking for, I think. And I'm walking through Green Park and I get a phone call from Sean. And for no reason whatsoever, Sean goes, make sure you cover your dad and your brother right now. And I nearly bust tears. in front of the station, bro, because I told him, and I said in no uncertain terms, I was like, listen, I can cry now. You don't even know why you said that. It was, but then I say that happens. I'm not going to cry on our podcast, bro.
Yeah, do you know what? Certain time. Ain't nothing wrong with an Andrex sponsorship.
Don't get me wrong, I love crying.
But Lucas,
I love it.
I call it, the authentication of what's really happening within. Because there's two versions of tears. There is sorrow, but there is joy.
There is, man. There is. And there's nothing more. And it's interesting in our last conversation a minute ago, or a week ago.
You're a funny guy, you know. You're actually a funny guy.
What you said about, we were talking about love, you mentioned your friends. Because it made me think, actually, like, when you said you want to chat love and daddies, I immediately thought love as in the relationship I just spoke about, or but actually, like, our friends and our family, and our friends are our family, and our friends are just another colour of relationship anyway, if we manage that relationship correctly. And in my life, man, you've been such an unbelievably valuable source of insight and just holding space, man, and just love, bro. I fucking love you, man.
No. I love you too.
I love you.
You know that? No. But honestly, and we've spoken about this so many times, is you can see things in people sometimes when they're not at a place to maybe see it in themselves. Hence the reason why my relationship with my dad is as deep as it is, because this is a person that has consistently told me what I couldn't see. And usually those are the people that understand your reason. And the hardest thing that for a lot of us that sometimes stops us is that we get to a place where we feel we can manage our parents, and that's the relationship we have. So it might be I'll pop round to the house on a Thursday evening, and we'll talk about a bit of football on the Saturday. We'll play a round of golf on a Sunday, and then I don't have to talk to him anymore because we haven't been able to look past what we didn't understand. And there is some stuff and things that our parents went through and that they're still dealing with now, that because we're stepping into our adulthood and our manhood, or we're adults, but really into your manhood, because I think there are stages of growing as a man. Do you know what I mean? 100%. How I was when I was 21 is different to how I was when I was 25, is different to how I was when I was 28, different to how I was when 30. Do you understand what I'm saying? So on and so forth. So when you get to the place where you stop blaming them for what they couldn't do or couldn't be, you're then ready to sneak behind the curtain of time. My father was raised by his grandmother and his grandfather.
Oh, really?
My father shared a room with 8 of his one sibling and his cousins. My father came to this country to be with my grandmother when he was 17.
Whoa.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
So when I look at this man and when I'm angry with him, this is what I ask my spirit to download into my soul. So you go, okay, cool. I understand you think he's dirt and did it, but given the same tools and materials he was given, could you do what he's done?
Oh, Lord.
Lucas. And all of a sudden, I start to release the pressure out of my little high and mighty balloon, you know?
Yeah.
Because I realised then that my purpose is to be his iOS update. So though I can run at a faster rate than him, he's the first model. That's why the iPhone 12 could never stunt on the iPhone 1. The iPhone 1 would go, listen, I know you're feeling good about yourself and everybody loves you. And, ooh, you can do all this stuff. But where were you in the beginning when it was just me and old Stevie and the technicians doing thingy and these guys were putting the first, and then I innovated what you've become? Calm down.
Simmer.
Calm down, you little face recognition self. Calm down. Lucas.
You don't know about the YouTube logo was a brown circle.
Listen.
You don't know about that.
Luke's. And when I was able to do that and see him as he really is, because many of us have painted our parents, but in this our dads, based on some of our traumas.
Oh, fully. And let us not be taken out of context. Obviously, some situations, that's the case.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
For sure. No one's ever saying that, and that's not at all what you were saying, obviously. But I think, like you said, I can't. There's a certain threshold, there's a cut-off point of how I can feel about my dad in terms of any negative emotion, because before it's risen to that point, and we have a nice relationship anyway, there's rarely situations where that arises, but even when it does, as humans, any human relationship will have, I'm there's an influx of the same man who was leaving the house at 3 a.m, getting back at 7. Is it? Okay, cool. No, try and hold that idea against that theory. Try and hold that feeling about who your dad is against that theory. Does it stand? Nah.
The numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't add up, bro. They don't add up.
And when we can step away from everything we think they should have been and actually appreciate them for what they are, then what it does is it's the tree synopsis that we spoke about. You take that negativity, you take it through the process, and it releases life. Because you realise that holding that is just poisoning you.
Oh, bro. I heard a quote the other day. It was about how jealousy and anger are the only poisons in the world that damage the vessel they're held in.
Corrosive.
Do you remember last year? I just remembered. Oh, whoa. Do you remember last year when you sent me a voice note? Sean sent me a voice note and he goes, "Look, this is for your dad, not you."
I remember what.
And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, this ain't for you, bro. Just give it to your dad." So I went downstairs. This one's living at home still. Went downstairs. I was like, "Dad, my boy Sean's got a voice note to play you." And I put it on the arm of the chair and hit play. And I watched my dad listen to you thank him.
Yeah.
Thank him. And this wasn't no like, "Oh yeah, hi Mr. Jones." It was a 3-minute voice note.
Yeah, you know
Sean.
me, I ain't trying to take this ain't no quick thing.
It was a detailed analysis of an exploration into. Yeah, bro. It was a moment for real, because I watched it land on my dad. Because he doesn't see that stuff. He doesn't know what my life is when we're not in the same room. Do you know what I mean?
I knew it.
And you knew it. Yeah. You knew it. And I watched him realize that I suppose the values and the model that you said that he presented and instilled in me has permeated out into the world in a way that he didn't realize.
his iOS update is alive and kicking. It was my way of telling him, I've known you for years.
Yeah.
I never had the chance to just express some gratitude. By knowing you, Lucas, I know his struggles. I see his pain. I know what hurt him.
Them ones.
I know the bridge.
Them ones.
Lucas, most things are symptomatic, you know? And most of us, because we're so obsessed with symptoms, we stop following it back to see what the root and the cause is. So in that moment, I was talking to you.
Yeah.
In eternity future.
Yeah. But isn't that mad though?
Whilst talking to him
Yeah.
in eternity past.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying is the things you thought that stopped you giving what you weren't sure if it got translated.
Oh, it
did.
got translated. Oh, yeah. No, they got that. They got that. The message was sent, bro.
And imagine it's almost like that thing in Star Wars, you know, it's the one, is it Rogue One, where basically they just have to get that thing off the planet, and they know the planet's going to be destroyed, but it's a thing where just get it off.
Get it off.
And imagine he gets it off, and he's not sure if it got there though.
Bruv. Yeah.
And in that moment of time, he's really saying, and I know because your dad's a deep guy, I can see. You know he deciphered the code. And went, he got there. Do you understand? Luke's, honestly, and this is why
it's a deep one today, bro.
the relationship with our parents, I don't care what stage it's at. Go get that. Go retrieve it. It's retrievable. Listen to me. Go retrieve that. Even if you're talking to the visual aesthetic of something that is saying no to you, I'm telling you, it's like you were talking about where it says the envy and the jealousy. Your love is corroding. It's eroding, all of that build up. And the last thing to go will be the outer thingy because it's just lime scaling, getting rid of all of that in. I'm telling you, man. And there is something in it, not only for them, but for you, because what you'll end up doing if we don't go and think, and I realized it, trying to avoid them and trying to obliterate almost the legacy of who they are through you will cause you to go up the exact same roads they went up. And unless you break it and have that clarity of perspective to step back and go, oh my gosh, Luke's, and so many people miss it, that thing that they're holding is what's causing the cycle of the same thing to keep happening, and they don't see it because they can't get past what hurt them. And they can't see that the first model that they knew may have hurt them. It's a residual gift that keeps on giving. Makes sense?
Well, there's actually a similar parallel between what we said about relationships in that what you expect of that person and your idea of what that person needs to be to you has to be healed or relinquished. And again, for some people, of course, in certain situations, that isn't safe to do so. So I'm not saying that.
But you can still release yourself.
And that's it.
Because even if you know that person is toxic, even if you know that person is, there's some people you got to love from afar, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Give me 100 feet at all times. Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
But me forgiving you and saying, okay, cool, you nearly destroyed me, but I know that what you nearly did to me actually happened to you. And though it hurt me, and though I'm going to have to keep some things here to keep me safe, I'm not going to hold that to you because I understand that you weren't the cause, you were a victim. And what that forgiveness does is it releases you. Because that person stops being, for want of what I call a childhood nightmarish character, it stops being the bogeyman in your mind.
Yeah.
And it turns into the little guy that's sitting behind this little thing, behind the curtain, and you're like, it was you.
All these years.
Lucas.
All this trauma.
Lucas.
And that was you.
Lucas, I'm telling you. And that's where celebrating this moment, especially for my dad in this way, is there is so much more I hear and I see because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm not obsessed with trying to be better,
Yeah.
or to show him that I'm as wise, or and in the moments that it does come out, he sits and he's just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
because you're not trying to show him that you're just like, okay, dad is dad.
Mm.
And for someone like myself, sometimes, bruv, being silent is beautiful.
Something I've really found this year, man. This year, and I say this year in terms of this last lockdown, living alone and actual silence. So it's a threatening thing at first. It feels very threatening.
Oh yeah, because you're left with you.
It's just you, bro. When it's just me, I can.
You're very noisy in there, innit?
Bro, it's loud upstairs,
It's
bro.
noisy in there.
It gets loud.
It's noisy in there.
Yeah. So
You know that one? Yeah.
I started understanding why people have TVs on all day, bro.
Listen,
For the first time in my life, I was like, oh, that's why.
that's if you can't regulate that sound.
Just gotta drown that out,
Get with them faders.
bro. 100%.
Pull down a couple channels.
100%. Stereo as well.
Mute some
It's in,
stuff,
both, it's
bro.
in both phones, bro. I can't even. I'm trying to push one mono at least so I get the right ear or something, but nah.
Listen, sort out my mix, yeah?
Hey, boss man, can I get
Listen.
can I
turn
get the
down
internal monologue
everything.
down? Can I get the internal monologue
Just leave
down?
with my voice.
Just turn.
Cool. 50 channels come down immediately.
Serious, bro.
It's real, Lucas. It's so
Turn down the
real.
Looney Tunes theme tune so it's stuck in my head as well, but
Listen.
that's getting on my nerves too.
Lucas.
Bro.
I get it.
Yeah, bro.
I
It's-
get it. No, because if you don't learn how to be silent, you'll become obsessed with your own sound,
yeah,
which
Yeah,
desensitizes you to the value of other voices.
yeah. That takes time to land me for some reason, but yeah, when it did.
Because you know it, and sometimes when you're in certain situations and you're traveling, it's amazing that the things that really blow your mind are the simplistic things that you've known all along, but it's almost like you find the intrinsic meaning to them.
In the real world.
In the real world,
yeah.
but the real world's a simulation of what's gone on in a person's soul, because there's nothing that's been created that didn't start in the mind.
I think that's what actually great speakers do. Thank you, bro. Probably shouldn't say that out loud. I was talking to Jamal, but
Yeah,
we're all in the same room. Jam,
Guys,
everyone knows Jam's right
Jam's
here.
in the room.
Jam's in the room.
He's here.
And I was looking at him to say,
Yo.
You know what? I mean, people go, they got a couple gunmen in there. What's going on?
yo,
Oh man,
yo.
there was so much bass in that. Can we treblize it?
Oh, my lungs hurt, man. My lungs hurt, bro. Why you gotta turn the bass up like that for, bro?
I was like, I was like,
The decibel meter just went off in
where
here.
the speakers at? Thing just before I started shaking. Lucas, we've got like 1 minute. Go on,
Yeah,
say what you're
listen,
saying.
I have
It's
no
like,
idea what I was
it's
about to
gonna
say,
turn
but
into
I have no idea what I was about to say, bro. But I think we're at a place where we can end it there, man. I nearly bust tears. I was creasing.
Listen.
Jam was shouting, blowing up the room. It was bass. It's been a big session, man.
fun. No, listen,
But bro, I'm just glad to see you, man, and I'm grateful for you as always.
it's better to see you. And these sessions, you know what? They just are always so. It creates equilibrium.
Yeah, I float through the rest of my week, man, for real.
And I just want everybody to take the last thought of even today. Just really invest in the things that allow you to be holistically balanced. And sometimes that's hard. That's wrapped up in hard choices. Do you know what I mean? And that might be also going back to some old choices that you didn't think was relevant that are. That's why starting with families, it's always the way. Because friends are the family God allows you to choose. And you're going to choose based on your first models.
And on that note,
Yeah.
love you, brother.
Love you too, bro. Love you
Love
guys.
you all. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful week.
See you soon.
See you soon.
I'm so stupid doing the honors.